welcome to today's NCCR tutorials. It's not the workshop news, it's a tutorial.
Exactly. Today we talk about that.
That's like the holy grail of XPs.
The holy heel. What was this?
Achilles heel.
The Achilles heel
Yes.
of the XP. We recommend to control it each 16,000 kilometer, what makes like 10,000 miles. So always control it, and you will learn if your bike is an eater or no eater, because many bikes don't have the problem.
No.
Some bikes eat them like hell. We have a theory about some vibrations or some swinging in the crankshaft system. Well, it is, if you reef them more, maybe the problem is bigger. Stay away from aftermarket stuff, take an OEM one. The golden one is nice, but they also wear, so it is also fairy tale that the golden one, it's an improvement. We think it might have some better damping, but
it's not perfect.
yeah, it is also oil related or not. So you can use you believe in fly to the moon, nanotechnology, underwater drilled
whatever yes,
oil,
yes.
And it will happen or not. So
yes.
after all that,
just control it.
Just control it. And I've seen bikes with 100,000 kilometer with zero wear. Lately was one in the internet with 80,000, and he showed some pictures, and you have seen a very little wear, and then everybody say, oh, you need to change it. On a bike with 85,000 kilometer with so little wear, I would definitely never change it, because you need to open the whole cane compartment, you need to put stress on the crank to open the nut, and you need to put it back. So yeah, if it's necessary. And sometimes you really catch them in the act when you really cut your fingers, when you go into the hole, and then oh fuck, peep, you really see the blood coming. So sharp they can get just before they break. And what happens when they break is that the debris will fall down exactly into the oil pump, into the opening, and then. And if you are not. Have a look on your oil pressure lamp, and then you continue, and then you will notice a lot of rattling. The rattling is when the hydro from the push rods will collapse, and later then you will stop.
Hopefully.
And then the bad news is all the debris is now pumped into the oil lines, maybe into the oil passages, and then definitely you need to disassemble everything, and
not fun.
Not fun.
Don't do it.
Control it, and Julia will show us today how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun.
Yeah, first of all, we remove the oil filter. It's quite easy with the right tools. We use K&N oil filter. Here on this bike was a Champion. And then next step is to open the first oil line. There you need to be careful on the older models. There is a 90-degree how you say,
bent
winkel, yeah. There's a 90-degree fitting. What is on later models reinforced. This is a 2007, the last model with the old oil pump, where you need to check the oil pump drive. From 2008 on, there is no more oil pump drive in the conventional way. There's nothing to control. So you need to be carefully on the earlier model. You really need to gives this piece a little bit more attention that you don't break it. Now we have oil line 2, and you need to hold it, the fitting. You anyhow, yeah, well, you anyhow, all the fittings I put in again with Loctite seal, because when you broke this fluid sealer, what is on the fittings, while you remove the oil line, then it will leak. Even if you just twisted it a millimeter or just a little bit, it will leak afterwards. So when the oil pump is later out, we will glue in all the fittings again with the Loctite sealer. So now we can see the third one there. It's always a bit tricky to work, and then always try to do it in a way that the camera can catch it. So really you would be more in front of it.
There we go.
So now all 3 of the oil lines are off, and now we grab the tool to take the pump out.
Almost there. There we go.
Yeah, now we let it drip out. So there are 2 hex screws with Allen key that we learned in the last video. Diagonal. So when you look from the bottom on the oil pump, you see 4 bolts, and on the older models they look all 4 the same. There you need to understand which one you open, because 2 holds the pump together and 2 holds the pump in the engine case. On the later model, there are the 2 ones who holds the pump together are button head, and the normal with a cylindrical shaped Allen key hex head. They are the ones, the long ones, who go all through the pump into the engine case. Yeah, they're quite long.
It's all a bit slippery.
Yeah, that's in this size the longest screws. I always, sometimes when you have a modification, you are happy to have this one, and then you can cut it a bit because they have also the threads all the way long. So we're always short on this bolt. So now sometimes you need to have the plastic hammer to bang it a bit, but this one is really nice. Yeah, and now we have the oil pump in our hand, and we will look into on the oil pump later. And now we can inspect the oil pump drive. What you see here is the oil pump drive. What is not the oil pump drive we look after. When you see this one and somebody tells you, oh, there's nowhere, forget it. This one never shows anywhere. If you see here anywhere or any broken parts, then this engine have or had a massive engine failure. So this is just as they look, even if the engine is broken, if nothing is really falling in, this part is always looking good. The part we are looking for is the other side. That is what interests us. Now we will take the endoscope to show you. The thing is, the oil pump drive is on the crankshaft located, and here we see some pictures. Usually we control it just with a mobile phone, The most important thing is that you turn the back wheel, fifth gear engaged, spark plugs out, to rotate the crankshaft 180 degree, because the wear on the oil pump drive is asymmetrically. This is very, very important to understand, that you after you took out the oil pump and you look in and you say, wow, this is looking super good, like this one, this is looking super good. The question is how it looks on the other side, and magically, mostly the wear side is standing upwards when the engine is shut off. So we see it very, very often that on the first view it looks good, and then you turn it and then you see the wear. This one, by the way, has the improved, it's a 2007 model, it has the improved golden one, this so-called beryllium one, what should have a little bit better damping and less wear, but beware from the idea that this is the savior. Also, bikes who eat oil pump drives also have wear on the golden version.
So what you do is you clean it first a little bit, then you already see if there's some debris coming out. You can still look in, and then should turn it, make sure it's not weird or grinding anyway, make sure it's not loose in any way. And then I've already marked up the fittings so that I will find the angle again. For the other two, it's not as important. Well, of course it's important, but it's not as easy to miss with this one. Here, if the angle is just a little bit off, you will have trouble to get the oil line back on. So what I do, I will go through the 3 fittings, and if they won't move on their own accord, I will not force them because they're hollow, and if they are really, really stuck, then I just let them be, because I might break them when I force them out. Let's see, first one. Nope. So first one, not going anywhere. Big one. Nope. Also not going anywhere. And the last one. Oh, that is kind of loose, so that we take out. And it was before sealed with thread locker, so Loctite thread locker. That is this stuff. And I will scratch that out, and then you can either put it back in with thread locker or you can use Teflon tape, and that's what we usually do, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. So once thread is all nice and you have gotten all the oil off, you put the Teflon tape around it, and it goes on clockwise, otherwise it will just shrivel up when you screw it in, and you don't have to take it like 100 times, like 2 or 3 times usually is enough, unless you have a thread that's really worn. And just have it tight, and don't cover the hole, of course, because we need that. There you go. Make sure it's all snug and nice. And when you now screw it in, you'll see that it will not roll up or anything. See? Don't over tighten it because it is hollow. It might break. Just torque to spec as usual. Don't overdo it. So now we've cleaned the surface with brake cleaner, so there's no oil there. We have the new gasket installed, and we slide this into place, carefully of course. There we go. And now we have Loctite on the screws already. It's blue. Don't Loctite the shit out of it. Oh, you gotta beat me now, don't you? And again, as usual, torque to spec. So what we did now, we already put on the fittings with the fingers, just because especially this one can be a pain. It's quite fiddly and you don't want to get the thread wrong, because this one, it has a tendency to be kind of at an angle, and so you really don't want to force it. It has to go smooth and nice and easy, so don't screw it up, right? So upper one here is also a pain. Already tightened that quite a bit, so you guys don't have to watch me forever. See, it's nice and easy. If it's not, then it is not in right, then you have to align it better. Now that it's getting tight, you want to make sure that this is not moving. And also there it goes. It's a conical seat, don't over tighten it. One more. There we go. And then here you're gonna need both. You need this, what are these? Oh, I'm so bad with the inch. It's a 5/8 and 3/4, so you need the 5/8 to hold it. And then you, whoops, tighten it. And there we go. So, the oil filter. There we go. And these are pre-lubed, but we don't trust anyone. So of course we fill it up with oil. So that's just normal procedure, but we also go around here. It's a little bit like watching grass grow, right?
Submarine races is something nice to watch.
That should be very popular now in COVID-19, right?
Yeah, staring at the sea, watching submarine races between
Yes.
the Americans and the Russians.
Oh, don't mention the war. That's the other war, but not that one either. So there we go.
Yeah.
That's nice. And then we finger tighten that thing.
Okay.
Okay, so once we finger tighten it, we also do just a little bit, not a lot, but just so you see, yeah, it's okay. Then you put on the date. That was very ugly. And then, if you like, you can lock wire it.
Yeah, that's a good thing on these K&Ns. They have a opening in the bottom where you can go with the lock wire through, and well, it costs you some minutes of time and a little bit of lock wire, but then you also don't feel the necessity of over tighten it because you're nervous, because then you have lock wire and everybody's happy.
You just gotta fiddle it through there.
Log wiring in front of camera, so
Oh well.
yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, it looks snug. And now for the grand finale.
Yeah, we always bend the ends, keep it a little bit longer, and then we bend them. Then you are not getting so easy scratched and hurt, and you pass with your fingers. Yeah. Super. That is what I call a perfect log wiring.
Now you know.
And this is how you do that. It's
Yeah.
really not that difficult.
No.
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 So, good job, and yeah, maybe if you like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have idea what you like to see learn next in our tutorial series, I think we have now the 4. We have the manifold, and that is the 3rd now. That is the control of the oil pump drive. So, thanks for watching.
Yeah. Take care, everyone, in this really weird time.
Yeah.
And we'll
Stay
see
safe.
us next week.
See
Bye.
us next week. Bye.